Welcome, everyone, to San Antonio by Night's Aftermath, Season 3, Consequences. Today, we start the first episode of this new story arc, and our lovely Iconoclasts have just finished celebrating the new year. The events, the fireworks, everything kind of coming to a conclusion for the year of 2020. Kind of putting that year behind them and starting fresh. Today is January 2nd, and the hype of the new year has worn off for the kind. The nights are still long, so our iconoclasts and our kindred abroad, the rest of the city, have been enjoying more time to get things done. It's still cold for a Texas winter anyway. And there are some things to still do. So, let's start with our illustrious leader, Faust, the venturer of the party. What are your thoughts in concluding this year, and what are your thoughts going forward?
Well, the first year thus far with the coterie, or rather, first few months. I feel like time has completely fallen beneath me, swept out from underneath my feet like a soft rug. Everything seemed to have happened so quickly. I suppose that's probably preferable. In the grand scheme of problems, I like things settled quickly. Still, we have many obstacles to come. More than anything, I feel the need to make sure that what we've established thus far and what we intend to make into the future will be so well settled and placed within the city that it'll be near impossible to uproot us. There are a few things we need to establish that have been an ongoing struggle. Blood is probably the biggest of them. Making sure everyone is fed, and I suppose in that sense, making sure everyone is fed in the way that they need to be fed. The second that I'm noticing is ensuring that there is, well, ensuring no one goes insane before the end of the year. Within this coterie, I have those that I can refer to for assistance, backup, support. I want to presumably see them through an average mortal span, at the least. That said, my biggest concern is Brian. I'm not comfortable with him feeding off, nor am I comfortable with him feeding others, within the coterie specifically. It's great in any crisis situation, but well, not every day is a crisis. And it's only a matter of time before he is the crisis. In that case.
Given what you all have heard and or witnessed about Samantha having drained Veronica, The rumor mill has started. That seems to be the ultimate thing about drinking down the vitae of another kindred, is it could lead to diablerie. And nobody likes a diablerist. But then we also have Ray, our lovely little heavy for the group. What are your thoughts going forward? What do you intend to do?
Fuck, we survived. That's the big thing. You know, I look back on it and I go, what the fuck? That was a mess. And I think there's still a bit more mess to clean up yet. I think we'll see. Benji was a big help. I look forward to increasing that relationship with him a bit further. Worried about Maria still. She seems to be circling the drain a bit. Faust seems to have gotten his head together. Don't know what Noel's doing. And Brian is Brian. We're just gonna muddle on through it, I guess. Same way as we always did. Hopefully with a few improvements here and there. It's been a lot to learn. It's been a huge learning experience. But maybe we can make something of it. I guess we'll see.
Yes, because one of those loose ends still out there is Jude Walker. He's still prowling about. And Angel's still prowling about as well. Possibly another loose end to tie up. But that all depends on whether or not Noel's on board with that. Because Mr. Stoneford, based on your interactions with a certain Tremere, your head's not in that game. No, your head is in it somewhere else.
I respect the man. I do. How could you not? And to call him incorrect would be A, me denying the facts, and B, me being a liar. But the sheer audacity of it all. No, Noel, calm down. There's no point in getting angry. No, instead, I'm going to embrace a creed rather popular amongst members of my clan, or so my sire says. We don't get mad. We get even. I'm not going to do anything against him. That would be stupid. That would be a game going into a game that I would not win. No, but in a single master stroke, I will make him eat his words. And that's going to start with the domain. Right now we have two major threats. The most important one being those Shalamites. The second is if Harrison told anybody and we have mortals walking around knowing of us. If they come to us, they will come to us, and we will deal with that accordingly, as we would any other masquerade breach. That's not something to go out and worry our little heads over. Not really. The Charlemites, though? Jude? Angel?
Heretics, both
Any
of them.
others? Yes, and what I'm loath to... No, I'm really not so loath to use this term. Like heretics, they will be purged. Violently and with no quarter. Jude has shown that he deserves nothing less.
Given that Jude has attacked someone very close to you, someone you hold very dear.
And he should be glad that I didn't rip out his throat right then and there as an example. I would have had every right to. I made him bleed. But I was entitled to do a lot more.
But as you said, don't get angry, get even.
Actions speak a lot louder than words.
Sometimes
And
they
they
do.
will know action.
Sometimes they do. And then there's Brian. The one who's kind of been tagging along with this coterie. Going along with their plots, their schemes, their plans. Just kind of riding on their coattails for the time being.
I don't know what it all adds up to. Man, one huge fucking mess.
I can hardly hear you.
I don't know what it all adds up to. Seems it's all just gonna be one huge fucking mess no matter what I do. So many plots, so many schemes. Other than Maria, Faust seems to be the only one that has a real head on his shoulders. Any idea of what direction we need to be taking? Noel might have that ability, but he keeps putting his foot in his mouth no matter where he goes or who he's talking to. Makes more trouble than it's worth.
Given the fact that over the last couple of weeks he's kind of been stuck in his room, reading and or fuming, you can't tell which sometimes. There's a lot going on in that head that you don't know about.
Brian just keeps replaying the events of Christmas over and over in his head. Wondering if there was anything he could have done different. If things could have been different.
It seems that every time that you go to see Camille, she throws you out.
just keep watching from a distance. That's all I can do now.
Maybe there's hope for being part of your son's life later on when he's older. But that is not today, sadly. No, that's years away. And then we have Maria, our little coterie homebody. The one who has been putting the most effort into securing the domain, having vigilant eyes, and watching for anything out of the ordinary.
Well, what more is there to say? Sammy, let's just call it what it is, cannibalizing my sire. As far as I'm concerned, notable payback. Getting rid of the Second Inquisition gunner, weapons manufacturer. Still not clear what he did. Getting to spend Christmas with Lisa and the family. Things are finally looking up. There should be no reason to end up bothering me. But then again, I'm also tied to the Iconoclasts, and if there's one thing I end up learning about the Iconoclasts, is that, well, at the end of the day, if you ain't more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, you haven't been paying attention. Truth of the matter is that at this point I am just trying to breathe. For once, I have no reason to be absolutely fearful, worried of what anybody else thinks. I think we crossed the Rubicon on that one. Now I'm playing with my... Well, I like to think of it as kind of like a doll collection, really. I've been collecting specimens, so to speak. Individuals who I think will be of great service to the domain, people who, well, need a second chance. Or maybe people who just want to end up tearing down whatever the hell we've built here. Decide to end up making the streets unsafe. Now they're just another body, limbless, voiceless, just there staring at you and trying to struggle with what little movement they have as you're able to end up feeding on them. Church is coming along, though I'm pretty sure it's a few years off before being usable, and even then I'm not sure if I want that. I think I kind of like the idea of a dark little home for all my little projects. Lets me learn on how to study what it is I can do. Really experimenting. No, Nicole's been a godsend since I ended up considering that one. I'm considering her request, but I think it might be a little too early. Still figuring out she is devoted, but to a point where even I'm starting to become unnerved. But at this exact moment, I think I can make do with what we got going on.
And for the moment, you are also a teacher to Samantha about her new abilities. But does the thought that she's brought up, that Veronica's voice is the voice in her head now, does that scare you?
I don't know. Honestly, we're both in uncharted territory there. But hearing things, I get impulses. talk to myself. Not sure if I ever end up hearing about other people, hearing other people's voices. That is concerning, but outside of that, there's not much more I can end up doing. Maybe it's just coming full circle. Yeah. If Veronica's still in there, in any capacity, well, she got what she deserved, didn't she?
Yes, it definitely seems that there is a lot of that going around lately. People need to get what they deserve. And so, on this lovely night of January 2nd, 2021, I would like all 5 of you to make rouse checks.
Success.
Is everyone else making rouse checks? I don't see it on the roll 20.
Yeah, everyone else has made theirs.
Oh,
I've made mine.
okay. My
Everyone else failed except for Ray.
Okay, so Ray and Brian have succeeded their rouse checks. My stream is not updating correctly. I'm not liking this. But it would seem that for some of you, the hunger is painfully present. And for others of you, it's just a dull roar still.
Well, another evening. Tumbling around with the beast, it seems.
As it would seem.
Alright then, I'll bite. I'll start off by giving a quick phone call to Father Renfield. I have a phone designated to him. In fact, I seem to be making a habit of many disposable devices for individuals back and forth. It's not so much a singular work phone anymore. I'm realizing it's nicer to be more unavailable. I give him a call up.
You give him a call, and he answers.
Excellent. Good evening, Father.
Good evening. What can I help you for?
I was calling in to check about, wanted to inspect the Ramirez house again, if we could. Just to make sure everything is properly set up for the shelter. Make sure we have all volunteers in check at this time. Would you happen to have a couple minutes this evening?
Sure. As soon as everything kind of closes down for the night, then yeah, I'll be happily.
All right, I assume midnight then?
Yeah, midnight should work.
Excellent. It sounds grand. I'll meet you at the household then when that comes along, and if you could, what was that? I believe a nun was with you?
Uh, yes, I do have several nuns uh, who are part of this parish. Who was it you were intending to talk to?
Coffee, out of character, I don't remember the main nun's name that you always throw up.
I think it was Sister Mary Beth. I don't remember.
Sister Mary Beth?
I
Okay.
don't remember 100%.
We'll go with that
Oops.
then. If you could, invite Sister Maribeth. Like to have some of her input on this.
All right. Sounds good. Then we will be there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. You have yourself a good rest of the hours until then.
And he hangs up.
I do too. With that established, from there, Faust is going to make his way to the rest of the coterie in the main room. Greet everyone.
Fair enough. What are the rest of you doing?
Ray has probably been up for a little bit now. Currently having a chat with the rodents around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing if they've seen anything unusual in here. And just generally trying to get
Nothing has been particularly unsettling to them as of the last couple of nights. So there's that.
Yep. This is going to become a daily thing for her too.
Yeah, that makes sense because that's part of your mechanically. That's part of your portal on and your lane. So
yeah. And once she's done doing that, she'll go back inside.
Noel, Maria.
Noel would be currently sitting in front of a bowl. He's got a jar of maybe Xanax sitting next to it. Basically, this is a part of the practical practice for learning Ishtar's touch.
Mm-hmm.
That because the ritual ingredient is a bit of hashish or other narcotic substance.
Mm-hmm.
Xanax is a narcotic. So he's testing to see what works. It's not going to.
Mm-hmm.
Because don't know it yet. But he's attempting it is the point. And so Faust would come in, Faust and Ray, and of course Marie and Brian would come in to see Noel with a mixture of blood, Vitae specifically, and Xanax in a bowl with a bit rumped between his fingers, saying an incantation.
Noel Faust walks in on this, looks at the bowl, looks at Mr. Stoneford. I see you're experimenting.
Exactly right. He says as he finishes the incantation, placing the blood to his wrist to see if anything happens. And nothing does.
If you need a hit, there are probably better ways of getting it right.
If you give me a moment, I'll explain to you what I'm doing. And
I'm pretty sure that'll be full of $3 words that are very long and convoluted and won't explain jack or shit to everybody else in this room, but it'll make you feel better, so go on.
he's kind of waiting for a moment, of course, acknowledging your statement, Maria, but he frowns. And he's got a book beside him, and he'll write, kind of crossing out Xanax. He's got a list of narcotic substances. He crosses out Xanax as one that doesn't work. This is a thaumaturgical ritual passed down through my clan. It has the ability to turn vitae into a narcotic, opening targets up to further interrogation via certain abilities.
Interesting. I wonder if all the events in the past year spurred the interest in that particular ability.
A number. You know, aside the fact that it's a unique thing to the Banu Hakim, so that I may have the knowledge to pass down to whoever I eventually sire one day.
Well,
Huh?
look at the good news. Just like Ray said. If the spell doesn't work, at least you'll have fun. I mean, bowl of bloody Zans, that's rad. Not my flavor, but rad.
Noel just kind of turns to Faust. Did you just use the word rad unironically, Mr. Buford?
I don't know what you expect from me.
I mean, you're sitting there with a bowl of bloody Zans in front of you, and you're going on about Faust use rad as a word. What?
Considering that, you know, you're dealing with me, a blood sorcerer,
Funky
a
licious
thaumaturge.
Okay.
You're expecting as if this is the weirdest thing you've seen me do. I mean, hell, you watched me coat a sword in my own blood that had been envenomated and took it to someone's neck. Really, this is the weirdest thing you've seen me do.
Well, there was that one time we ended up giving a chicken the old heavy eyeball. I wasn't thinking you were trying it, or you were thinking about eating it.
Noel just kind of stops, dead in his tracks, and he slow turns to Maria. Look, there's only one ritual that involves a chicken, and I don't know it, so...
Which is making this all the more suspicious.
I mean, have you tried Viagra? I heard it works to get it up.
Oh, it's every day. It's every day. Every day.
Chickens every day?
Oh,
Now,
God.
Could somebody please take the shovel away from this man before he digs himself in any deeper?
now, considering it didn't work and all that, if you're willing to take the risk of Xanax, Brian, you can have that if you want it.
I don't need it, but why not?
That is to say, Brian, I do need to speak with you tonight. Bit of a heart-to-heart moment, if you will. Here. How about we go on a walk? checking
Brian will
first.
take Noel's bloody fingerprints.
He's just carrying a bowl.
Yeah, just grab the bowl.
And Noel's gonna go wash his hands while that's the case. Get the remnants of his vitae off.
Ray, is it just me, or might it be a problem that I think I'm starting to get used to this?
I mean, probably. I was already used to it. So use that as your measure.
I don't think we should
Look.
be using the term measure when somebody was mentioning Viagra, but
That was
And
Ray
chickens.
and Ray.
you're not
Ray
here.
and
You're
Ray
washing
alone.
your hands.
Oh, we're in the main room, right? The kitchen's probably the thing's probably what, maybe like 5 feet that
It's like
way.
yelling from the other room.
It's just like, if you ask me, we've been dealing with
No one
weird
did.
shit since day one.
Look, some bitch damn near cut me in half. He can end up taking a little bit of dig to the ribs once in a while.
Yeah, well, he did get run through for that one. He's flexible, can stick himself with his own sword.
You know what?
Look,
This is going up against some tenets that I don't think I'm fully comfortable with, and I'm not interested in going into confession tonight.
Fair enough, fair enough.
look, you
Oh,
you made me take my lumps on that one, Maria. Where water under that's water under the bridge at this point.
which I'll intend to drown you in at some point when I figure out how to make you breathe again. Till then, enjoy on life.
Ah. And as he comes back into the room, drying his hands, he's like, look, we're all absolutely fucked up individuals. I mean, that. He gestures to, like, the entire thing with, the Xanax and the notes about with the bowl of blood. Between your macabre Chinese food, gestures to Ray, the things that you're able to do, he gestures to Maria. And trust me, even though it's not as outwardly macabre, the kinds of things that you two are capable of. Because, yeah, watching a man take an incendiary round to the chest and T-pose for dominance at the guy who shot him. Yeah, that's horrific. People
It's a
don't do
good
that.
party trick.
It is a good party trick, but people don't do that.
Faust does.
Apparently, as we have established. But I think the thing is that we're well past gone with the horrific and grotesque at this point, because we all are. We all just are. And that's all I can say.
I'm waiting for him to tell us something that we didn't know.
Y'all need Jesus is what you need.
I think it's a point to say.
Oh, would you like to know something that you don't know, Ray? That's okay. Did you know that the blue whale has an average penis length of 8 meters? There. Little fact that you didn't know.
Yeah, no, I already knew that one.
All right, Brian, let's go on our walk.
Hold on a second, but yes. Coffee, what are the consequences of drinking the bowl of blood with the Xanax?
Find out.
I don't
What's
know
your
what it is.
occult?
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, what is your occult rating? That would be if you're wanting to know if you know the consequences. That's a that's
I
a
have a
wits
one
occult
occult. Wits occult?
or intelligence occult.
Intelligence occult. Alright. Three successes, 110.
Okay, 3 successes. Well, given that the Vitae is no longer part of Null's body and he's mixed it with Xanax, you're not sure how the Xanax would take, but you do know that if it's still potent, that it's still capable of blood bonding. But that's if it's still potent.
I don't know, but I did just drink the whole bowl
Oh, okay.
before I left with Faust.
All right.
It wasn't a lot of Xanax in it. It was maybe a couple of tablets at most, ground up. Because remember that the limit for human incapacitation is considered the ceiling for vampiric binging. As a rule of thumb.
Noel, how long is the casting time on Ishtar's touch? How long has that bowl been sitting there?
A couple of minutes.
Couple minutes.
It's a couple of minutes of preparation. So that Vitae is still fresh.
Then take 1 point of blood bond towards Noel, Brian.
That's what I needed to know.
It tastes a little funny with the Xanax in it, but you kind of spit up the tablets after downing the Vitae.
Yeah.
It's tasty. Feels really judgmental to the taste, but it's tasty.
Of course.
It tastes of bread lines and oppression, like you haven't had real toilet paper since 1979, and you've been using poison ivy to wipe.
I'm not allergic, so I wouldn't know.
There's a lot of spite in that Vitae. Let's just put it that way. That's what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Not that there's any resonance to it, but that's what it tastes like. That Noel's been stewing in a bit of spite.
Yeah, can we say that spite tastes spicy?
Oh, it's spicy. It's very spicy. Or salty. Take your pick.
Yeah, salt.
I'm thinking it's more salty than spicy.
Yeah,
Being from
it's probably a little
Texas
bit of both.
and having real spice, and this ain't it. It's more salty than spicy.
Yeah, it's salty. Like a bag of salt and vinegar chips.
But it's a snack. Not that you were really pressing for hunger anyway.
No, in my head, I was kind of hoping this would be the only way he could get a blonde bond to Noel.
Yep. So you're one step close to blood bond to Noel.
Alrighty.
But
I will just note that Noel is aware of the effects of Vitae on other kindred. He knows how long it's been sitting there.
But
At this point, Brian has a one-step blood bond to everybody in the coterie now.
That's a question, would he? Because that decays over a month. Oh, wait, no, year. That's right, before it's locked in its a year.
Before it's locked in its a year. So he's one step blood bond to the whole coterie for a year unless they're taking a step
And
further.
Jude.
And Jude.
He's got so... It's got so many conflicting voices in his head.
That he does. That he does. But Faust and Brian take their leave from the rest of the coterie. That leaves Noel, Maria, and Ray standing together for the moment.
So what's the plan for tonight?
You mean outside my usual check-ins?
Yeah.
None. Actually, it's kind of nice to end up saying I got a settled down routine with a little bit of spare time for once.
I can feel that. What about you, Noel?
Ended up talking to Dave earlier. Cole's still looking over the church. Sammy's been visiting from time to time. And she knows how to get a hold of me if she needs me.
And at the mention of Sammy, you see Noel tense up just a little.
How's she handling everything?
Well, now that you got 2 feet in the grave, suddenly I'm the quote unquote elder. So that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about the siren or raising kids. So ain't having none myself. So yeah, this is a learning opportunity for the both of us, as far as I can tell.
Whatever works, you know.
Well,
I would imagine.
so no, you look like you had something to say on the matter.
Color me displeased.
Displeased. Well, it's a free country.
All I'm going to say is that there is a reason why the amaranth is taboo.
Imagine so. Sabat certainly don't care about that none. And near as I can tell, fact of the matter is that the death was given as an option to hit Skylar. And I asked them for the opportunity to not let it go to waste. So you tell me an individual who was needing to be removed, threat to your safety, my safety, especially my safety, was in general a individual who would not integrate with the city nor end up being a part of it. In fact, being a complete threat to everybody around. Being removed while also acquiring your little loose end. Thanks for that, Ray. And then be given to somebody for the express purpose of getting them out of the living hell that is being thin blood. This doesn't sit right with you in the slightest. I would think that someone of your stature would end up looking at that as justice, though I guess that word rings a little hollow to you.
I'd like you to think back on what you just said a moment. Think back a little bit. Sammy taking the opportunity to become true kindred? No, I don't begrudge her that. I'd do the same thing in her shoes. It's a step out to be embraced properly as a member of kindred society, truly, rather than just a pet or a mascot at best.
So where's exactly the hiccup here? What makes you so displeased use your terminology. Oh, look, I just used a $3 word.
Think about the nature of diablerie, about drinking of the amaranth. You're consuming someone's essence, someone's very soul.
She ain't have no soul, and you and I both know it. Whatever was left of a human being in her was long gone.
I'm not talking about a human being. I'm talking about something rawer than that. I'm talking about consuming someone's very being, their sense of self. Doesn't need to be aligned with anything even remotely human. And she wasn't, Veronica, for all intents and purposes. But imagine what that might do to somebody's head if they were to consume that. Imagine what horrid forms... You refer to the beast as Old Scratch. Imagine what forms her version of that could take now that it's consumed something as twisted and vile as Veronica was.
Yeah, I
Think
just
about
figured
that for a moment.
I think I figured it out. I think I figured it out. You just don't like the idea of me being able to smile that they say things are good. You gotta find it, don't you? You gotta find it.
No, I don't. It's just the unfortunate.
This is about the chicken
matter.
comment. This is because this is payback for the chicken comment.
I don't care about you saying that I wanted to fuck a chicken, Maria.
I never said that. That's what you were thinking. Dear
That's
God,
what you were implying it.
Ray, did I once end up just saying anything about intercourse with the chicken?
There's nothing about intercourse with a chicken.
And
that's what came to his mind.
Inferences.
Oh, go.
Look.
And you're warning me about the potential dangers to Sammy's soul. When you're thinking of that, about a winged bird, a feathered bird.
Weirdly enough, not the weirdest thing I've heard of, truly. But
I'm not sure if I can handle much more of this conversation.
I know some exceptionally screwed up people. But the thing is, Maria, you care about Sammy. I know that you do. Once one gets a taste of the amaranth and the power that it can bring, it can become exceptionally addictive. And I should know. Because
what?
I'm gonna give you a little lesson now on the clans. You know how we all have our unique weaknesses. For example, sometimes you have the Malkavians in their delusions, the Nosferatu in their cursed, twisted bodies, the Ventru with their rarefied palates. How technology just seems to stop functioning correctly in the presence of a La Sombra. For a child of Hakim, if we taste kindred vitae, the very essence of transgression against anything anyone holds dear, we go crazy. Like, I'm starving and need to drink crazy. And if someone's not there to stop, we will go so far as the Amaranth. We will attempt to gorge ourselves until nothing remains.
But that's you, not her.
That's me. But the thing is, I have that compulsion in my very veins. That is resisted only by my inability to keep control and those around me. On the other hand, Sammy has no such compulsion. But I know from first-hand experience that the power of the Amaranth can be exceptionally addictive, and it's exceptionally damning to the soul each and every time you do it.
Noel, it's almost as if a little voice in the back of your head kind of pipes up and says, guilty. You're guilty of the same thing.
It is why I'm so staunchly against it. Because the things that it does to a person's mind, the voices that you can hear, the forms the beast takes after you do it, especially if it happens more than once. Imagine it. And a screaming, wailing chorus amalgam of the voices of those who you've consumed, speaking all in unison and yet not at the same time.
So what, you hear somebody when you eat them? That's what you're saying?
If
you know this?
If you diablerize a kindred, yes, you can.
All right. You spoke your piece. Is there anything else we need to address?
I think, on a lighter, slightly lighter note, that we should address where our priorities lay at the moment. Because, as you said, Harrison has been dealt with. Amazing work on that, Ray.
Wasn't mine. I just cleaned up afterwards.
Still helped. So that leaves two major concerns for us. In terms of threats without. The first is any regular humans that Harrison may have sputtered out to.
No, God, this never ends, does it?
Leave that shit.
No,
Leave that shit alone.
There's no reason to chase them or anything like that. It's just a matter of if they come in and we find them, we deal with them as we would any other masquerade breach. Simple protocol. Nothing more.
Well, and I already spoke to Benji, and Velda's domain is keeping an eye on the areas that they were poking around in.
Well, if that works, then it's good. Means we won't have to deal with it. Although, with Mr. Cortez and the things that Mr. Cortez does, he's a strong man, but not exactly the picture of grace under fire. We've seen that. I have faith, but always better to make sure that we keep our interests at the forefront.
We'll just agree to disagree on Cortez, yeah?
The other is the Shalamites. Specifically, that's Jude and Angel.
Shamalama.
Void cultists. Nihilists.
Has anybody checked out Ava's club for any leads on Jude?
I've actually thought about going there myself to do that. Actually, I didn't have anything planned tonight. I could go and do that. Would either of you care to join me in such an outing?
I'd actually like to stay back and do some work on the area. Hoping to get a few more friendlies in amongst the animals of the area.
You guys and all of your doolittling. I don't understand it. But then again, well, yeah, obviously. But it's strange, you know? Like, when you're aware of the other clans and what it is that they're capable of.
Right, well, I'm going to leave you two to it. I've got to go get ready for the day.
Sounds like I just got signed up.
If you want.
I'm pretty sure that was a voluntold.
Nah, you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You gonna leave me with the chicken fucker?
Hey, your prerogative if you want to stay near the chicken fucker. I'm keen to get away.
I haven't fucked a chicken. Jeez.
And on that note...
Ray. It explains why he's asking us about us and doolittling.
Oh, God. Don't put that thought in my mind. That's gross. I'm out of here before you guys say anything else weird.
Sweet tits of Ganesha!
As Ray leaves, Maria just looks to hit Noel and motions the idea of digging himself deeper with a shovel.
All right. I actually have to go, so I will be back later.
All right.
Maria.
You say my name ain't here more, I'm gonna be convinced we're married. I'm not even straddling you. So are you done saying stupid things and getting on to task? What with your next words?
If you're coming, I need to get ready.
You ain't that
good. Fucking. I'm going to go and get ready for a club outing. I'd suggest you do the same.
Well then.
In the meantime, we're gonna catch back up with Faust and Brian as they're kind of going through the neighborhood and kind of taking a walk for a moment.
What's on your mind?
Well, it's been a bit of a weekend. I've had a little time off and I wanted to check in on you.
Same as I ever was.
Let's see. So to my understanding, then No new resources, no new connections that you've had.
No. None
That's-
at all.
That's a shame. All right, then. Well, I decided preemptively, that was the scenario, that I would make myself available to you.
How so?
I want to know, in what ways can we set up a circumstance in which you can reliably feed? Not just on the coterie, but specifically have your own source. And or if there's any particular directions you wanted to take, that I'm able to support you. Give me one goal you want to accomplish.
One goal I want to accomplish. It's nothing to do with feeding.
It doesn't have to do with feeding.
I want
if
to
there's-
set up a trust.
A trust. All right. For who? And what for?
For who is my business, and that it takes care of them when I can't.
Well,
No, it's not for me.
I can set up a trust for you, but understand that it's going to be under my expense. And I'm not just
And
going to
what
give
would-
it out to anyone. I need to know who the benefactor is. Otherwise, I can't send it. But I can send it anonymously.
My infant son. And what do you require for setting this up?
I need you... Huh. I think it's important we establish something first. Do you still speak with your family?
No. They think I'm dead.
Do you want them to continue thinking you're dead?
It's for best all concerned.
Then we'll make it so. I want to clarify, should you ever wish to re-enter their lives as perhaps a stranger, you can always barter the favor of Maria.
What now?
Sorry. If you ever want to show up in their lives as a stranger, you could probably get a favor. But for now, Brian, we can make you dead. And I can send the money as an inheritance from your passing.
Brian would give you the information you need to know for his last job in the oil field, where things like that might have been set up.
Okay. Faust goes into his contacts, pulls out his phone, different phone, for one specific individual. Someone who got in a car wreck recently.
Mr. Charles Sawyer.
That's correct. He goes ahead and gives Charles a call. Basically requests, "Hello, Mr. Sawyer."
Mr. Buford. Pleasure.
Pleasure's mine. It is. I apologize for the evening call. A little bit of something came up here of interest to me. I was wondering how you handle certain affairs that could be a little more anonymous.
Affairs that could be a little more anonymous?
Yes. Suppose an anonymous benefactor.
An anonymous benefactor. I usually deal in investments. So we can discuss this tomorrow during the day, during my office hours. What time are you free?
Fortunately, I'm a very busy man, Mr. Sawyer. I don't have a lot of time other than during the evenings. About early evening, say 10 p.m.
That's early evening. I'm normally not in the office at that time, but yeah. Meet me at my office at Bastion Investments, and we should be all right.
Sounds fantastic.
Tomorrow evening, then?
That's correct.
All right. We'll discuss it then.
Thank you kindly. You have yourself a good evening, and one more thing, Mr. Sawyer. Congratulations on your recovery. I'm glad you're a healthy man.
Well, that's bumps and bruises. That's really all. It's nothing terribly complex. Glad to be back to work.
Certainly. I'll speak to you then. You take care.
Have a pleasant night.
With that, Faust clicks off his phone, turns to Brian. Right now, I'm working on something within the domain, so my current resources are a bit tied up. It'll take me a month to get the fund started. But it will be done.
I appreciate that. And again, what do I owe you for this?
We'll find out later. For now, what's important to me is just making sure that our coterie is settled. We don't have any sort of affairs that could complicate matters. We have our needs met. In the matter of family, I have a heart out to
Family's
you.
all that matters. Family's all that matters.
It's an important and powerful thing. Family is belonging. It's protection. It's home.
Convenient if you have one.
Quite. It's a privilege. I think both you and I can agree on that. These nights are lonely. From it we draw little more than feigning hope, fleeting interactions. Everyone always at an arm's length. Faust puts a hand on Brian's shoulder. He has a firm grip. All the more important that it's protected. The family is protected. You can trust me, Brian. On the basis of your son, I can guarantee he'll have a future.
I'm taking you at your word. Screw me on this or screw him, and it'll be the last thing you do.
Word is my honor.
I'll hold you to that.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Would you like to accompany me?
Of course. Do you need me with you tomorrow night when you meet with Mr. Sawyer?
No. All I'll really need is simply say that you were once one of my own employees.
Okay.
That said, I'll go ahead and... Would you like to see what I'm working on, the domain?
Of course.
Wonderful. We will be having some visitors. I do have to let you know. Of a particular devout variety. But the shelter itself should be cleared of any stuff.
Okay.
Wonderful.
I'll make sure to keep my distance. Not too distant, but certainly not too close.
I do have one question.
I might have an answer.
Faust pulls out a paper. On it is written a phone number and the name Jude Walker. Does that name sound familiar to you?
Brian will pull out his phone, flip through his contacts, and show you the same number with a JW as the contact.
Mr. Stoneford informed me of precarious circumstances with our group. And this Mr. Walker.
It's a shame. Can't say as I blame Mr. Stoneford for his feelings on this, but certainly unfortunate circumstances for Walker.
Whatever it is Noel's planning, Brian, you don't like it.
Some new to the area in our domain. No way to know who's connected to whom or how.
Well, I have a hunch. A small hunch.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and play this card. I'm gonna invite Mr. Walker. I'm gonna meet him tonight.
Where is that gonna be taking place? Cause Noel catches wind of this and we gonna have a fight on our hands.
Well, that's why Mr. Stoneford isn't gonna catch wind of it. Isn't that right?
I ain't got the loose lips in this coterie.
Wonderful. We're in agreement then. So, but, it is to say, I do need you available in case a fight does break out.
Oh,
You've been training me, but, well, most I can do is take a hit and a little fire bath.
Oh. I'm told you take fire very well, and you're taking hits better than you did, so it takes time. It don't happen overnight, but you keep training, and eventually you'll be better than I am.
We'll have to see about that. Still, though, it's not a bad title, so to speak. Catch a phrase. Iconoclasts. You need people to play with fire. Perhaps comfortable with it. Let's think on that one. I think that'd be good. For us. Let's think on it. We'll brainstorm. Shoot.
It's amazing how your mind works, Mr. Faust.
It's amazing what you inevitably do with your fists.
And Faust, him kind of praising you like that does kind of make you pretty happy. You are a bit of a vain individual, after all. Take pride in your clan.
Faust smiles to himself, a little bit beaming, but he turns away from Brian to wipe the grin off his face. He's thinking to himself, composure, stoic composure. And Faust pats Brian on the back. Let's head on out. I'm very excited to show. More put together, but you get sneak peeks.
Lead the way.
With that, they'll head to the shelter.
All right. Let's switch back over to the other members of our coterie. Before heading on to that, Noel, you were headed to Ava's little bar, Temptations Lounge. Was anybody going with you?
You're muted.
My apologies. Yeah.
So, was it Noel and Maria that were going to Temptations Lounge?
Yep.
Yep.
Unless Ray changed the mind.
Ray, did you want to go?
You are welcome to come along.
Since I don't have to leave just yet.
Sorry, was that a yes or a no? Because you were cutting out.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Ray is indeed going to Temptations with her coterie mates. All right. Then let us switch over to that then. Temptations Lounge. Inside the loop highway towards the innermost part of the city. The domain of Ava. And you can definitely see why. It is dimly lit inside. It is a nice kind of. It's not really like a dance club. It's like the title implies. It is a lounge. But the kind of lounge in which there are exotic dancers. It's a laid back atmosphere, dimly lit. Only the dancers have spotlights on them. And it is. Noel, it looks like a cesspool of vice and pleasure and all sorts of things that might make you a little bit uncomfortable.
It's the devil I know. I've been here before.
And what do you do to try and garner yourself some attention?
Well, we need to talk with the lady of the house now, don't we?
For all what you know, the lady of the house typically doesn't come down from the third floor. The private rooms.
Which means we need to go up.
It's true.
Is there a bar in this place?
There is a bar. There's even scantily clad waitresses that attend to tables. There's a bar. There's plenty of. Looks like there's plenty of liquor on the shelf, so it looks like you can order just about anything.
Ray's gonna make her way up to the bar. She's gonna take a seat, and her eyes are glancing around, taking a look at some of the lovely ladies in the place.
Oh, there's a definitely one that is standing out fairly well, who's on the floor right now, who goes by the name Star.
Huh?
She's doing a lovely pole dance.
Interesting. Any chance that I can use my sense of the beast as I'm sitting here at this bar?
Yeah, roll the roll for it. You take a look around at the people that you can see, and based on the people that you do see, you don't really sense anything of a bestial nature.
No kindred down here that I can tell.
From what you can tell.
Aside Noel and Maria, of course.
Besides Noel and Maria.
Gonna wave down the bartender.
And you do. And what do you say to them?
How you doing this evening?
Hello. Pleasure to see you.
Pleasure to see you too. I mean, hell yeah. I'm looking for someone.
Wonder if you might know them. I know they hang around here sometimes.
Who are you looking for?
Short person. Short?
Kind of short. Kind of
You're cutting out really bad.
Sorry. Short person.
bright blue hair, a little bit nervous. Know of anybody like that?
Make me a charisma persuasion.
Persuasion.
Who's asking?
Just an old friend.
No,
You know
it's fine
them?
now. I don't personally know them. I've seen them around.
Do they come in and talk to anyone?
Like I said, who's asking?
My name's Ray.
Ray.
And you are?
Selena.
Pretty name.
If anyone knows anything, it would be Star, but she's performing right now.
You know when she finishes?
When the set's over.
Okay. Do you hear that, mate?
No funny business.
Absolutely not.
Well, not without paying.
And Noel just kind of nods and we'll make sure that the requisite arrangements are made for money because, I mean, you know, not broke.
Thanks for the information. Ray's got a bit of cash on her at the moment, doesn't she?
Probably. You're a resources one, right?
She wants to, no, she actually doesn't have any resources.
You probably
listed.
only have about 20 bucks on you at
She's
any
gonna
given
tip her the
point.
20. She's just going to tip her the 20.
Oh, well. You didn't even order anything.
Yeah, but you help me out regardless.
All right. And after probably another 20 minutes, the set is over, and Star goes back into the back rooms for the stage, and that is the last that you see of her for the time being.
After you, Noel.
After me.
Yeah, lead the way. Off you go.
Oh.
Testing.
Come on, pretty boy.
Just give me a moment.
Just everything about this place, Noel, just kind of ruffles your feathers a little bit.
Very funny.
Reach
Like,
property
you know
advice.
he's a virgin, right? It's clear as day how awkward he is here.
I'm not actually, but sure, as you say. I'll just remind you that even given current conditions, a kick to the box still hurts just the same.
Well,
Threaten all you like.
you know what? I'm not even engaging in this conversation.
And yeah, I shall lead the way. We're going. I'm guessing it's up to the up to find a place to sit until such time as we as the set would most likely be over.
The set is over, and she's gone backstage.
Right. So me leading the way, are we going back there with her, or because I think I may have missed something.
She hasn't come out from backstage, if that's what you're asking.
Then I'm guessing back we're going? Looking to my two compatriots? Okay, that's what we're doing.
And so, you go about the bar, kind of looking for the, you would assume, other entrance the to the backstage area. All of you taking the time to do so. You find it, and the door is closed.
It's not locked, is it?
You can try it.
Oh, it's probably locked. Shit. Stop by a door.
Oh, wait, this is the back entrance to the building.
No, this is the exit from backstage that isn't the staging area. It's
Ray
still
kind of
inside
rolls
the
her
building.
eyes. Ray kind of rolls her eyes and locks the door.
Who is it? You hear a voice from the other side.
My name's Ray. I was hoping you could help us find somebody.
Sorry, we don't take visitors backstage.
Is there another time that we could talk?
Ray who?
Wilson.
The door kind of peeks open a little bit. Not very much. You see that there is a figure there. And it is this dancer who's got essentially what looks like a robe on. Looks like she hasn't finished getting dressed again.
Is this Star that I'm looking at?
Yeah, this is Star that you're looking at.
I hear you and I have a mutual acquaintance.
Look, can I at least get dressed first?
Yeah, no, take your time. Nice set, by the way.
Look, this is a little creepy.
I'm not here to creep on you. You have my word.
She kind of looks to the other two.
Neither are they. Not sure Noel would know how to creep on you.
Noel just kind of gives Ray a look. He's like, I wouldn't dream of it.
Right. 20 minutes. We'll go to one of the tables out in the floor.
20 minutes. Talk to you then.
And she closes the door, locks it.
Well, Ray finds a seat at a table and just sits and waits.
And Noel will also come to sit.
I'm going to go on autopilot because I actually do have to go now.
Okay.
So I'll be back.
All right. Well, as for the rest of you, you wait the prerequisite 20 minutes, and you see that Star has taken a seat at one of the tables. One of the tables on the floor, kind of in one of the more open areas, and she's brought the bouncer with her. So you said something about a mutual acquaintance?
Yes, in fact, we did. We're looking for a guy who goes by the name Jude Walker.
Make me a charisma and persuasion.
I am blood searching for this. I'm getting hungrier. Not the greatest, but I need to have as much in the way of dice as I possibly can for this. Good. Came out to be worth it.
You see that she gets a little tense. Why?
There's some things that he's been involved in that we need to talk to him about.
And what makes you think that I know anything?
Well, as my associate here, and he gestures to Rhea, said, we know that he is a mutual acquaintance of ours. Just asking if you've heard anything about him or his whereabouts. If you've seen him in the last little while.
Not particularly recently. It's been since before the Christmas. He doesn't come very often.
Interesting, is that uncharacteristic?
No.
Alright.
You see that she folds her arms like incredibly tightly.
I would like to insight check her.
Go for it.
And I'm not gonna...
While I was doing that, I'm keeping an eye on the bouncer because, well, it's an old show.
I'm just here for backup. She brought the backup. Seems like she ended up bringing me a dance partner.
Is it loud in here at all?
There's another set going, and there's another dancer on the stage.
Alright, because it's going to be like, considering I'm reading her body language, the heightened senses might be an idea, but no, I'll probably end up accidentally flashbanging myself.
It is pretty loud. Not terribly loud. Not like nightclub loud, but it's loud enough that it is possible to get overwhelmed in here.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk it. Although the dice, unlike the vignette, are benefiting me tonight.
Mm-hmm. You can definitely see that she's uncomfortable with this line of questioning. She doesn't know you. That much is obvious. She has never seen any of you before. You come creeping up on the back staging area that's more or less off limits, and she's definitely worried. You definitely see that she's worried. She definitely eyes the bouncer for a second or two, but doesn't make a move to try and leave. What does this have to do with me? You said Jude was involved in some shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that's quite alright. It was more a matter of asking if you had seen him around or anything like that, but as you had said, he hasn't been here recently. And if you've heard anything regarding him, because this is rather important and paramount to his safety that we find him.
Uh-huh. Paramount to his safety. He's in trouble?
He's fallen in with a very bad crowd, and he could very well be in trouble. Fuck. If he's not found.
Christ. You see that she is pondering for a moment. God damn it. Kid's always getting himself into trouble.
This is not an unusual occurrence either, I take it.
No. He dropped out of school to take care of his brother. He did some shady business, as many people who do, to try and make money for his little brother.
What's wrong with his little brother?
Look, that's personal business to Jude, and I didn't really feel comfortable talking to strangers about that.
I can understand that, certainly, but if this is what led into the trouble in the first place, I mean, how else we're going to get him out of it? Otherwise, well, you say it yourself, right? These things happen, and this is not the first time he's gotten himself into trouble.
No.
I mean, if he's doing this for his brother, I mean, there's a way I can help.
I would like you to make a manipulation persuasion.
I am definitely rousing the blood, and I probably should have done so as a rouse check when I first got in here, just because of humanity. So hunger gain, 100 success. Manipulation, subterfuge, and would cover up count as this? As I'm trying to cover up that he's a kindred.
No, the reason that it's a subterfuge roll is because you don't intend to help him.
Okay,
Do you?
not particularly. Actually, it's quite the opposite. But wow, Derek dice for the win.
Jeez.
Oh,
7 dice.
willpower if you've got it.
Yeah, I don't have a choice. I have to willpower.
Yep, and she's gonna insight.
Wow. 10 dice, 1 success.
Oh, performance issues not uncommon. 1 out of 10.
I will allow you to succeed at a cost.
What's the cost?
If she gives you, if she, that you, I'm gonna have to think about that for a second. Let's see.
Don't overcomplicate it if you don't have to.
No. 1 point of aggravated willpower damage.
All right.
Okay. Okay. He hasn't been around lately, but his brother's name is Noah. And their mom was a junkie. And the whole reason that Jude even needed to earn way more extra cash is because he was basically parenting his little brother. As soon as he could get a job, he got a job. It was rough.
That is a shame.
Dropped out of school. Worked as many hours for as long as he could. But it didn't pay enough, so he went into other things. Shadier things. Dangerous things. And you're saying that he's getting back into the game?
That's the fear.
Jesus. Oh, Jude.
Has anybody at least checked in on the brother?
Come to think of it, I haven't talked to Noah in a while, either.
No, if he's got to take care of his brother and no one's there for him, and Jude hadn't been around for a while, I'm a trap bit concerned.
Yeah, I should go.
You need a ride?
No, I have my own vehicle, it's fine. I appreciate the thought, though.
Hey, before Jude kind of dipped out, did he mention anyone new coming into his life?
Not particularly. Why?
Oh, just I thought I saw him with somebody that I hadn't seen him with before. That's all.
Uh-huh.
Probably goes by the name of Angel or something.
I don't know anyone named Angel. Not that doesn't already kind of dance on stage.
That's fair. Well, thank you. You stay safe, yeah?
Oh yeah, I know how to stay safe.
Yeah, I imagine so.
And she gets up from the table and kind of walks with the bouncer off to another section of the another section of the club.
Hmm. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Quite.
Might want a tailor.
I have every intent.
Yeah.
Then I can leave that to you.
If Noah's his little brother, he's not going to want anyone near him. Or at least none of us.
No problem. Start walking my truck.
Gray follows after.
Oh, you want to follow along on this? Are you sure this is the business you want?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then while you two handle that, I'll check in with Whip and Faust.
And I believe that is where we are going to take a quick break. Thank you so much for everyone for watching so far. We will be back with more of Season 3 of San Antonio by Night Aftermath in a moment. Welcome back, everyone, to San Antonio by Night Aftermath, Season 3, Consequences. Brian and Faust have made their way through the neighborhood towards a joint venture that the coterie has been putting together in creating a shelter of sorts out of an old abandoned-ish or confiscated, who's to say which, house in the neighborhood. The idea being that they turn this place into a sort of homeless shelter where the disenfranchised of the neighborhood can find a place to sleep. The two of you have made your way towards this house, and you are expecting Father Renfield and Sister Marybeth to arrive as well shortly. Is there anything you'd like to do before they arrive?
Well, suppose I should express, once again, I intend to meet this Jude Walker tonight. I'll be inviting him here. The location is fairly private, even amongst our coterie. Still, though, I just want to make sure we're both on the same page. There may be a probability of conflict.
If the rest of our coterie gets involved, I have no doubt that conflict will be involved.
Precisely. My hopes here is that if we can arrange it, we could potentially use Jude in order to draw out this angel Mr. Stoneford has spoken of.
I assumed that was your angle, but wasn't sure.
With any luck,
Mr. Stoneford's expressed feelings on the issue. Couldn't tell which way you would lean in.
we'll give him his just due in time. For now, we need to handle things accordingly. We need bait. I don't particularly enjoy trying to chase down whatever it is we're trying to hunt at any given. I like things being brought to me.
Why waste your energy when it will come to you?
Precisely. So,
Smart strategy, but sometimes you got to get your hands dirty and you got to go do some hunting and some tracking.
well. When I have the network for it, certainly. Given that we know nothing about this character aside from a few specific ties, we have to make do with what we got. That said, Father Renfield and... What was the sister's name again? Coffee?
Mary Beth.
Thank you. Father Renfield and Sister Mary Beth will be here shortly. Your name is Whip. You're a volunteer.
I'll make sure to keep a little bit of distance.
Just as a note, Brian doesn't look like Whip anymore.
Brian looks
Brian
like
looks like
Brian
Brian.
now. Has since right before Christmas.
Did we introduce Brian to Father Renfield?
I don't think you have.
No.
I don't think so either.
So Whip still works.
That's what I was thinking.
Just pointing that out. Because
Thank
we
you.
didn't actually discuss that.
Who the hell is Whip? Okay.
Jude
Works
might
better
have mentioned it to Father Renfield.
I don't think Jude brought Renfield and Brian together at any point.
No, but
Either way.
maybe as a passing mention, not an actual introduction.
Fair point.
Either way. The two of you wait for a little bit, and you see a vehicle pull up, and the two people who do get out are Father Renfield and Sister Mary Beth.
Wonderful. Please do wait here. I'll go ahead and make introductions and have them make their way. Did they come together in the same vehicle?
They did, yes.
All right. Okay, so once they do, Faust comes up to them. Father Renfield, Sister Maribel, thank you so much for arriving so late at night. I understand it's probably not the best of time. Busy schedules and all that.
You see that Father Renfield just smiles. Not a problem at all. It's time to close things up for the night anyway.
I was thinking so too. Should make sure the opening for the shelter is going. Inspections good. There's not any additional maintenance that needs to be accomplished here. Renovations have been a little challenging. A little worried that the history of this house might come back to us.
Yes, and the fact that it took a little bit of finagling around some red tape, especially around the holidays, to get the okay on converting this into a shelter. This
Yeah.
technically has to be zoned as business.
It does indeed, but luckily, it's a charitable business. And all the better to do good with it. Come, let's go inside, have a look around. And as Faust brings them in, he's going to look at Sister Mara really fast. And I'm going to go ahead and check to see if she is of my flavor.
Yeah, okay. So you're gonna kind of do your sniffing around surreptitiously?
Yeah, see if she's, exhausted from the long day.
Overworked.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make that roll.
Resolve awareness. I want to blood surge for it, actually.
Okay.
Because I just realized I don't even have the dice for it.
Alright, you are successful on your rouse.
Cool. Really need to get that awareness up. Alright, boink.
It's difficulty 3, yes? Or is it difficulty 2 plus Bane severity?
I think it's 2 plus Bane severity, so it'd be
Difficulty 4. You can't...
Are you talking about sniffing for Ventru?
Yeah, Venture sniffs.
4. Static
Difficulty
4.
Static 4. Alright. You have the option to willpower it.
I think I will, because I do need to know. I only have 1 dice to roll.
No, you have 2.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I only rolled 1. Whoops.
Roll another one.
Just 1. Boink, boink. Yay!
Okay. So that does indeed make it 4. You... It's almost like you're engaging her demeanor. She is... It's a toss-up looking at her. Kind of detecting whether or not she's an overworked person or not. She's tired, but you can't tell 100% if that's overworked or not. It's leaning in that direction. Maybe if she was a little more exhausted, she would fit right the bill, but she is kind of teetering on that line.
Alright. I am trying to decide if I want to take the chance. Fuck it. As we go through the house, Faust is going on about what sort of arrangements need to be made. He makes it fairly pertinent to Father Renfield that because it is a shelter and house many groups, it's probably not the wisest thing to be having religious features through the house, religious. Makes that point clear. He goes through, and once he's done, he looks to Sister. God, why do I keep forgetting her name?
Maribeth.
Sister Maribeth.
Maribeth.
So hard. He looks to Sister Maribeth. I was thinking earlier, though, that if we are to have volunteers here, that they have to be of sound mind, resolve to the purpose. I've seen you many times in the church, Sister Maribeth. I think reasonably enough. All the times that I visited, you've always been the first to interact, show compassion, be present for the people who've come to show faith, whether it anguish of sin, sorrow, or seeking salvation.
That is my duty.
You serve it well. Might I make the suggestion? Would you be interested in being the head... What's the term? Head service here. You'd cover management. Well, Father Renfield and I cover resources and manage the property itself.
I don't really have any experience management-wise. I just present myself to the service of the Lord, and that's what fulfills me.
It's a good thing to have. Do you have any skills when it comes to medicine? Healing?
Healing, like... I offer prayers a lot, but I can't say that I'm particularly skilled in medicine. No, I never went to medical school.
We'll get you some basic training, for instances of emergency.
First aid I can do, CPR, that kind of thing. But that's about the extent of it.
Wonderful. The majority of it is needing someone who has the leadership, who can develop the leadership skill, but most importantly can understand where... If it's all business, no one can reasonably get back to their feet. A lot of these people that will show up here are here because of trauma, circumstances beyond themselves.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that.
Good. Would you be up to the task?
If the Lord wills it, then he will make it happen.
Wonderful. Father Renfield. Foss puts his hand out for a handshake.
And the father puts his hand out.
Faust makes eye contact. Thank you so much for coming again tonight, going over everything with me. If you would like you to make one last run of the facility. How about you go make a couple laps around the property? Make sure that all of the sprinkler systems are working. And when you're done, go ahead and wait in your car while I speak with Sister Mary.
Now, is this a compel or a mesmerize?
It is a mesmerize. I'm gonna give him one thing though. Wait in your car until you arrive and tell you good night.
Okay, so this is gonna count as a complex command.
Yep. For what it's worth.
Mesmerize does also require a rouse check.
Boink. Yes, it does.
And you are not getting hungrier.
I'm not. He's gonna make probably 2 laps around the property, turn on the sprinkler system, turn it off, and then go wait in his car till I come to him.
Okay. Now, Derek, maybe you can answer this question for me. Does mesmerize make you do that like in a robotic sense?
Yeah, you're basically on autopilot at that point.
Okay.
So you're not really aware of anything that's happening. It kind of just happens.
It just kind of happens.
You,
Okay.
yeah, but you are allowed to do
Complex
actions.
Okay.
So
Where compel is a single command.
compel is it has to be done now and done within the span of effectively 1 turn.
Yeah.
So unlock a door, drop the gun, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So his eyes glaze over with the command that you've given him, and he goes about to do exactly as you've told.
Wonderful. Faust turns back to Sister Maribeth.
She's a little confused.
Suppose there's only really a little bit left here. Mostly just checking in. You said you had first aid training, but how much of first aid training do you have?
Just the basics.
Just the basics. Are you aware how to pull someone out of a crisis?
No, I'm not trained for that.
Then we'll get you trained. I happen to know someone who works with a nursing facility. They're typically trained for crisis as well as handle people who are regularly in it. Old folks can be a bit stronger than
Uh-huh.
That said, I'll get you two hooked up together. Well, see if we can get some training lined up for you. With that, Sister Maribeth, I hope you understand. Faust activates awe. What you're doing is a good thing. We're pulling together here.
Mm-hmm.
I sense the Lord will truly shine on us. Will see us for our...
I think so too.
Glad. You take after Virgin Mary herself.
Oh, please.
Divine, radiant, splendid in so many ways. Very excited to see where it takes you.
Oh, that's
Faust is gonna go in for bite.
Noms.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to make me a high or low roll. She's on that edge. Does she tip over that edge?
She is on that edge. Alright, fine, fuck it, low.
Low, clan, low.
Oh, thank God.
Feeding from her does not cost you any willpower.
Oh.
How much are you taking from lovely Miss Maribeth?
1 dot. Lingering kiss her.
And we are using the errata for lingering kiss.
That's perfectly okay. Because the thing is that she do need training for leadership and stuff. This will be great for it. But also she's going to be a little obsessed. But also that's okay.
Well, it does mean it grants her the temporary use of awe herself.
Good. She'll be the Shining Virgin Mary.
And and she is euphoric when you bite into her. She mutters something about this being a sinful act because for all intents and purposes she thinks that you're pleasuring her.
Faust is keeping an eye on her hands.
At least that's what it feels like in the moment. And when you release her and she's breathing heavy, both from the draining of blood and from the ecstasy of it all, she pulls out her rosary. Mr. Buford,
my dear, follow my lead, and I can assure you, I will show you heaven.
She's blushing profusely.
For now, this is our secret. Forget.
And that's a cloud memory?
Yep.
Okay.
And while she's still in the daze, Faust is just going to gently lead her back to the vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Where Father Renfield is waiting.
Yep, set her in the passenger's seat. Faust is going to take out his phone, dial Jude's number. And he waits.
You don't get an answer right away. Seems to go to voicemail.
Mr. Walker, my name is Faustus Buford. I believe it would be of your interest to come meet me tonight. Find me at the Ramirez household. Make sure it's tonight. Father Renfield is waiting. And he ends the voicemail.
It's about that time that Noel's car starts driving through the neighborhood, because going past the Ramirez house is how things is how you get into the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You see Noel's vehicle. You're standing outside with Brian, and Noel, you would see them on the front lawn of the Ramirez house.
They're a little busy. I'll do a lap.
Faust waves.
And so you do a lap. And nothing has changed. Faust, you don't get another call in that time frame. And Noel, you can stop at the house if you'd like.
Yeah, why not? Let's stop at the house.
And so you park on the street and stop at the house.
Yep. I'll make it look like I'm pulling over to check my phone. It's it's illegal to use your phone while driving.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Mr. Stoneford.
Mr. Buford?
Foss looks at the Amira's house. Looks back at him. What do you think?
I think we're going to do some great work.
We are. Prize to the city, really. Brings you around these parts. What are you after tonight?
I actually wanted to see how you and our mutual acquaintance were doing. And he'll give a nod to Brian. Have a little chat.
We're doing excellent. Spoke with Mr. Sawyer.
Hmm?
Just to let you know, I'll be talking business the coming evening. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Out of courtesy, thought I'd tell you. Just regarding some base investments.
Well, keep your decorum about you and everything will be fine. And Noel would give him a look of like, you know exactly what I mean when I say that.
I will keep all of my wits about me.
Good, good.
Heavens. I mean, God forbid, Mr. Sawyer has already been through.
Exactly right, he's been through enough.
What exactly are your plans this evening? If you could. Father Renfield. Good night.
And with that, the car starts to drive off.
There. Now we have some privacy.
Good. Ava's club turned up fruit.
What kind of fruit?
A lead, which Ray and Maria are currently following.
Fascinating.
I don't know if that'll bear any fruit, but I trust with their skills. I trust them enough to find out as much as they can.
Let's correspond. Cooperate a bit. What's the lead you're trying to follow?
Well, it turns out that someone at the club knew some things about our good friend Mr. Walker.
Oh.
And turns out he's got family. Somewhere. And so Ray and Maria are looking into it.
Very fascinating. Where'd you hear this from?
One of the dancers, mutual acquaintance.
Well, out of coincidence, Father Renfield also happened to be. I thought I'd try and see if I could play a little game of bait.
Bait.
Let me establish something. Why are you... Well... Are you after Jude Walker purely for vengeance? Or are you after them for the intent of drawing out the other problem? That is, Angel.
I'd be lying if I said the former wasn't on my mind, but both.
Then let's do this. I have a proposition for you.
All right.
We tied you up. Not literally, but figuratively. Get them bound in our debt in the first place. A very convenient way. Brian here will be the sole tether to that. If Jude fucks up, he eats him.
No.
No.
What'll happen? Because I like the idea of this proposition. But I'm gonna make you a counteroffer. We tied Jude up. We keep an eye on him. Use him to draw out. Angel. He fucks up once. I kill him myself.
You know what? I'll give you that one.
And before you ask, no, it's not out of some misguided vengeance.
You think I believe it misguided?
Oh no, I know it's justified, but no, it's more a matter of when we confronted him last, myself and Maria, I made a point. I drew the line in the sand. What is a judge who cannot enforce his own decrees?
All right.
That's code for I would break one of my convictions if I let Brian eat him.
And Faust gets that. He gets that. Very well, Mr. Stoneford. However, I still like the idea of, giving our big man here something. Just a something.
Oh, we can have a drink. Won't deny him that. Not in the least.
Great. And in the meantime, Mr. Walker will work for us.
I think that is where we're going to transition to the other members of our coterie, who are still at Temptation's Lounge. The thought being that they would tail Star and see if they can't follow her to Jude's location, or at least to Noah's. The both of you are still in the club for the time being, getting ready to head out, I'm sure. Is there anything else that you want to do here before you head off? So with the intention of following Star, you follow her out to the parking lot where she pulls out her phone and makes a phone call. to keep yourselves from looking like you're stalking her, you're quite a distance away. Maybe hanging out closer to your own vehicle than to hers. She's very quiet on the phone. You don't hear her loudly say anything.
Is there any particular words or phrases that I pick up from her, even at this distance?
I would like you to make me a resolve awareness.
I would like to willpower those 3 fails.
Okay, go for it. You do hear the name Jude. You can only assume that that's who she's speaking to.
Can I make out the tone of the conversation?
It's friendly at first. But then you hear that she gets more hushed. She starts looking around. She gets into her vehicle before hanging up the phone. She starts her car and starts to drive away.
I believe that's my cue to follow.
Are you both in the vehicle or just now getting in the vehicle?
I stated I was in the vehicle, waiting for them to finish up and start driving. So
Okay, so Ray, you're hanging out outside the vehicle, listening in, and Maria is ready to drive as soon as
Opens the door, jumps in, doesn't even put on a seatbelt before Maria takes off.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Probably doesn't even get the door shut.
Then the two of you make your way to the streets. And so in that case, in order to tail her without seeming like you are, I'm gonna call this a 3 and done. And if you successfully hit 5 successes, then you are going to be able to follow her where she goes.
okay.
So, Maria, since you are the driver, you would be the one making the composure drive first.
Oh, of course, it's my worst stat. I got to rouse the blood just to give myself a shots. That's success for once.
Nice.
Composure drive, you said.
Composure and drive, because this is you trying not to look like you're stalking prey.
Oh wow.
Oh, not bad.
Game owed me that by now.
Not bad. So you watch. The streets are fairly empty, given that San Antonio doesn't really have a whole lot in the way of traffic in the late evening, especially past midnight. It's you do follow her on the highway. You follow her off her exits, but you are able to keep a far enough distance away, but still keep her in sight enough to tail her. But we're getting into residential areas now, on the north side of town. She's headed into Velda's domain.
That makes sense.
Well, might want to end up calling you boy toy.
You got a phone I can use?
Yeah. But I don't know how much you're going to like the number.
That's all right. Ray wants to call the Medianoche, or if she's got Benji's direct number, she'll call that.
I think by this point you have Benji's direct number. Given the relationship that you two have been fostering over the Christmas season. And he picks up. Hey, what's up?
Hey man, just giving you a call to let you know that we're heading into Velda's domain.
Can I ask why?
You remember that kid Jude, right?
I think you've mentioned him once or twice before. Remind me who again that is?
Some kid that passed from Velda's domain into our coterie, caused a bit of drama.
Right. Yeah. Blue-haired kid.
Yeah, that one. Well, we're just tracking him so that we can keep an eye on him. And
You're cutting out.
he was hanging out a bit in Ava's domain. But we're just kind of tracking him down at the moment. Just want to let you know in case shit hits the fan.
So, that's a question that I have for you, though. Why you tailing him?
Want to know about him
Sure.
and their
Okay.
potential risks.
Risks.
Mm.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
You don't sound convinced.
I mean, thanks for the info. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Don't stay long.
Try not to.
Velda already doesn't
Just-
like all of you, so,
Oh, even me. And here I thought, just
Look, she's nice to your face, but, she kind of doesn't like you either.
she's a Toreador. I expect it.
Yeah,
But
consider that a freebie.
fair. But yeah, I thought I'd give you a heads up, let you know what's happening.
Whereabouts are you right now?
She would let him know.
Okay. Cool. Great. Well, see you around, I guess.
All right. Catch you later.
And he hangs up the phone.
Ray also hangs up. Well, this should be interesting.
So now that you're getting into residential areas, Maria, so you feel like you're potentially getting close to where she might be pulling in for a stop. This is going to be another composure and drive.
How's the blood?
Mm-hmm.
Because even if it's a 50-50, I am not taking that. Makes a total of 5 success.
Makes a total of
Technically
6. This is probably the most effort that you've put into actually keeping yourself as composed as you have stalking prey, Maria. It feels good to be stalking. It feels nice to know that she can't escape you. She can run, but she can't hide. And so, you come to an apartment complex where it's nice. It's nice enough, anyway. It's fairly... It's not anything terribly fancy for all intents and purposes, but it's just nice.
At this point, Maria takes off the jacket. Keep an eye on her. Maria takes off a jacket. Keep an eye on her for a second, would you? And she
Yeah.
reaches in the back seat of her truck and starts pulling out one of her old hoodies. She's gotten used to face swapping, so it helps when you can dress differently. Even if it's just throwing something on or pulling something off.
ST, how is the lighting?
The lighting?
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty normal for an apartment complex hallway. It's kind of brightly
So
lit.
fairly well lit.
Fairly well lit, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing incredibly suspicious about the lighting.
What?
What the hell?
You got a willpower?
Yeah, I don't have a choice.
Huh.
2 successes. That's enough to change my face and what have you. So. But
Wow.
God,
Dang.
What are you... Roll 20. Roll 20. I don't know what deal you made with the dark thing that haunts Derek's dice bag, but you need to stop.
Spam them if you have them for Derek Dice emotes.
oh,
Yeah, it's tough today, Maria. You're a little distracted. It's tough to reshape your face. You're not terribly proud of the product that comes out of it, but at least it's different.
I'm gonna get out and start tailing. As she's going into the apartment complex, I want to end up seeing if I can follow her at all.
Okay.
Figure out what place she's going into.
This one is going to be a versus roll.
All right.
Because you can see her. You know exactly that she's intending to go to one of these apartments. You're pretty sure. And so let's see. Yeah, I think she would have a decent awareness. So for you, that would be a dexterity stealth. If you're intending to remain hidden and not look like you're... If you're intending to remain hidden in this particular instance.
Ray is actually staying in the car, keeping an eye on the outside of the building,
Okay. Then if you would...
watching who's going in and out and whatnot.
Okay. Then I will allow you a resolve awareness. Ray gets a resolve awareness, and for Maria to follow, Star is a dexterity stealth. She has 2 successes on her Star has 2 successes on her awareness check. You don't think she spots you?
Maria is now getting hungry. She is mentally fatigued. I've 1 willpower left. That's not touched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just not placed. Thankfully, only 3 hunger so far. Thankful for small blessings.
Yeah. At a particular point, she stops at an apartment on the 2nd floor of one of the buildings and gives a knock on the door. The door slightly opens and she goes inside. And she disappears from view.
Gonna be fun.
Ray, as a result of your awareness check, you're checking around the surrounding building. You don't see anything immediately suspicious. Maybe that concerns you, because you're expecting something suspicious. Given what you heard on the phone, you expect that Jude might show up at some point, but you don't see him yet. You don't see any indication of him yet. You're looking for deeper shadows. You're looking for that iconic blue hair. You're looking for that baby face.
Ray at this point is just looking for whoever goes in or out, and she's watching them like hawks.
Noted.
Then
Marie.
again, she could already be inside the room. They'd never know.
Maria, what do you do? You saw her go into this room. You saw her go into this apartment.
I'm gonna end up going there and listening at the door.
Then that would be a resolve or wits plus awareness.
Wow.
It's kind of hard to hear through the door. They're being kind of quiet. You hear it muffled. You don't hear anything distinct so far.
There's no peephole on this apartment, is there?
High or low?
Hi.
No, there's not.
Knock on the door.
And when you It takes a little bit. You hear the unlocking of the deadbolts, and you see a young man answer the door. Yes?
Hi. You know her, ain't you?
Yeah, who are you?
Adeline.
Adeline.
I end up having I'm a little bit worried. Hey, was Jude right in that this is a place to be? This is a safe place?
What? What are you talking about?
Said there's only they had to go just get here, ask for Noah, and everything will be okay.
The fuck? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know why they sent me here either.
Fuck. Look.
I'm not sure if it's on me.
What are you even on about right now? Like, what?
Jude didn't tell you that.
No.
How'd they send me here?
The fuck you talking about?
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Look, you got the wrong place, man.
You're Jude's her brother, right?
Yeah, what about it? Like Jude
Then
who?
What other place can I end up going?
Look, I don't know you, okay? Just
okay. I guess we're doing it that way then. Open the door and invite me in. Compel.
all right. And he unlatches the chain lock. The door opens, and he invites you in a very robotic voice. Please come in.
As soon as they do so, do I see the other person, or are they like in the hall in the living room or something like that?
Star is in the front room.
So we can see each other.
Now you can see each other.
Fantastic.
What the fuck?
It's at this point I am going to... This is the only way in and out of the apartment, correct?
Yep, unless somebody decides they want to jump off the balcony window.
Yeah, it's a fair way up.
It's second floor. It's not terribly tall, but it would hurt going down.
Fair enough.
It'll break a leg.
Well, I know somebody's outside. So, I'm grab hold of him and I'm gonna eat him. Close the door on the way in.
Oh, okay. So you're looking to overtake Noah and bite into him?
Yep, he's compelled. He doesn't know anything from Adam.
He was dazed and compelled for a moment, and so this would count as a second turn. He's coming out of it, and so you would have to grapple him.
A small lad, right?
He's not terribly physical.
All right, I'll gladly end up doing so, and I'll feed on him.
I don't think I have actual stats for him, do I? No, I don't. Okay.
If he's
just an
below
average merge.
Yeah, then he's got like a 2 dice pool on this.
Yeah, he's not particularly brawl worthy. He's more of a smarty pants. And you beat him.
So as soon as the door closes, I end up reaching in. I start feeding on them.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna do this right in front of Star.
And she is freaking out and kind of screaming. She's gonna try and wrestle you off, but she's not exactly brawly. She's more of a dexterity person, given her her dance pool. But she's gonna attempt it. So if you want to keep her from trying to pry you away, you can.
No, actually, I think I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to use that blood that I gained to rouse the blood.
I have
Hunger
a
games.
question.
Uh-huh.
She screamed, right?
Yep. There would have been a scream.
Would Ray have heard it?
I mean, if you got windows popped and you're listening and being aware
She would
intently,
be.
then yes.
Yeah.
You would be very aware of what that Maria just went into the house disguised or into the apartment and you heard a scream.
Fuck it, Ray's rushing in there.
It's going to take a turn or two for you to get in,
Yeah. Yeah.
depending on a
am...
dexterity athletics. So I want you to roll that real quick.
We're about to find out on what kind of neighbors she has.
Yeah, so that's a dexterity athletics, Ray.
Oh.
See how quickly you can get in. If that's one turn or if it's two.
This is not a dexterous character.
You can hop, skip stairs, but it's still going to take you another turn to get up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Mario, what were you doing again?
I'm rousing the blood, and if they want to try and get me off, well, I'm just going to manhandle them both. I'm feeding on one while I'm going to cover her mouth and put her right into the wall.
Okay, then yeah, that would be a strength brawl.
And I'm rousing the blood so I'm only at a +1 because -1 I've already taken an action. This is a response to an action.
Yep. Oh!
Okay.
She's going through the drywall of the wall.
So right now she's in the drywall. The potential shoulder has been placed right into one of the studs, kind of things.
Yep. One of the studs is broken.
She unconscious? She stopped screaming?
Yeah, because that would be aggravated damage.
Lick the wound. I'm only taking 2 points of blood, so took one, spent one, taking another, puts me down to 2.
Okay. And Star is bleeding on the drywall. One more turn, and Ray, you can get up to the apartment door, and it is unlocked, so you can open it and go in. You see that Star is a heap in the drywall, and Noah is coming out of the Days of the Kiss.
So Maria has stopped eating him.
She has stopped eating him. Just as you're coming in. And so Star is a bloody mess on the wall, basically.
Jesus.
Through the wall, even. Not through the outside wall, but through the inside wall.
What the fuck?
I end up tossing Noah to Ray. Get him here loaded up. We got what we came for.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus.
I lean down, kind of grab a hold of the star, see if I can get her come to for a moment.
You see that her eyes kind of pop open and she's looking like she's in agony.
Yeah, I know it hurts, sweetheart. I know it hurts. That's all right. You can bleed out before a hospital can get here. I can do something about that, but I need you to do something for me.
She's coughing blood.
I need you to acknowledge you know you're drowning in it.
She
You
very,
understand me?
very scaredly kind of just nods her head. You're not sure if she's losing consciousness again.
I am going to, at that point, use vicissitude. Or I'm going to use flesh crafting. I don't think she's in any way to fight against me on this one.
Nope.
So, 3 should do it. Enough to stem the bleeding. She'll survive. Mangled up. She'll need some bed rest, and her x-rays may come back a little bit different, but when I crack everything back into place, I end up saying, somebody's going to come looking. You're going to want to find Jude. You're going to want to tell him that his little brother is in safekeeping. The second he cuts the shit, we'll be good. He'll know who's talking. I kiss her on the forehead. Toodles! Get up.
And you can hear that she's still agonizing, like crying.
Ray doesn't stay to watch all this happen. She's already taking Noah down the stairs. She doesn't want to be seen by cameras or anything. She's dodging that.
And you leave Star in the apartment.
I'm reminded of a conversation I had. Specifically with Jude. How none of it matters. They don't matter. They were hiding their little brother. I guess we're about to find out the strength in one's convictions, aren't we? I end up getting to the truck. Drive on out. Look at Ray. Might want to end up giving Faust a ring.
Yeah. Yeah, hold a bit more.
Well, this will end up making Brian happy. He's going to get to meet Jude again. Jude's going to do something, but let's be honest here.
Well, now we've got a bargaining chip.
All right, go ahead.
Ray picks up the phone and dials Faust.
Maria just watches the road. She is calm, cool, calculated. Probably very different from what you might be used to sitting next to. There's something wrong here with Maria. She is cold, staring at the road.
As she listens to that dial on the phone, that ringing, Ray kind of reaches up to that necklace that she carved, one each for the coterie members.
Mm-hmm.
And all she can think is the hero is winning where Maria is concerned.
Wahito is winning. You may have to do something about that, Ray. Because if Wahito wins out completely, what is that going to do to her? What is she going to do to you?
It becomes his new birthplace. His way out.
Faust, you get a call. You expect
Howdy,
it.
this is...
You expect it to be Jude, but it's Maria's number.
Assuming that means lead caught on. I give Mr. Stoneford a look. Smirk. Hello, this is Buford.
Hey, Faust. We've got a little gift package.
Wonderful. Take it your rabbit hunt came out fruitful?
Definitely did. Don't know if Noel told you what his name is.
No, he's cryptic as always.
Noah.
Noted.
Maybe that's something you can use.
Oh, I think it will. Family's important, after all.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Were you the one who got the prize? Or is it Maria?
Maria did.
How's she looking?
She's looking.
Well, thank you very much for your kind service. Keep the package secure. I'm certain I'll be speaking with Mr. Walker tonight.
Yeah.
See you soon.
See you in a bit.
And I believe it is with that we're going to conclude the session for tonight.
Just before we do,
Oh,
I have just one thing to add.
okay.
As Faust gets off the phone and Noel's had his eyes shut in thought for a moment. And as Faust gets off the phone, he looks up, meets Faust's eyes straight on. Knight to F6. Check. Okay, we can end the session now. I just had a closing remark.
Closing remark. All right, perfect. Well, you're all alive.
Doing great.
Doing great.
I feel like Mr. Big Businessman.
Good.
It's just like...
Also, holy shit.
Humanity 4 and no fucks given.
Yeah, no, I think Faust has to be very tight leash with Maria and just be like very specifically, don't fucking maim people, please.
Whoops. My bad, bro.
Ray was just so thrown by Maria just walking in there and just kicking ass and then acting like nothing happened.
Yeah.
She's just like, what the fuck?
I think Faust and Ray need to talk. That's what I think.
That's what I think. Well, with all of that being said, Maria, you have some stains to take.
Yeah.
At least one for the maiming of Star,
Yeah.
because she was in a state where she was going to bleed out, and then you basically reknit her together, fast and furious like, with vicissitude. So that's not a pretty job. So
No, she ain't performing no more.
nope. Nope. That was enough to shatter bones. And
Yeah.
so you tortured this poor woman to get her to stop bleeding too. So that's another one.
Alright.
Do you have any convictions that you broke too?
They ain't my neighbor. But I think Brian is. And I'd do anything for my neighbor.
And they are all innocent in all of this.
If you want, I'll take the 2 stains.
2 stains.
Alright.
Holy shit.
4 dice for more. What the? Okay, no. Oh, it's a modifier. I was checking. Incidentally. Yep, there's a pass.
Thankfully, you're hanging on to what you got left. It sucks. You hated to do it. You hated to do it. Star didn't deserve that.
Star didn't deserve it. And sure as shit, Noah didn't deserve this. He got caught up in the wrong place. Jude is too dangerous. God damn it.
They're both innocent in all of this. You attacked an innocent woman.
I just kidnapped a kid.
Yeah, you did. He's still a minor.
Yep.
Oh shit.
And now in the house of God there is only silence.
It could have been a million times worse. You could have actually killed him, which I was actually scared that you were gonna.
Or her.
I thought he was going
What
to kill
did kill her?
Star.
To be, that's a discussion for after. Discussion for after.
All right.
All right.
Well, that takes care of stains. Who fulfilled their desires and recovered some willpower?
Me.
Yay!
I got a favor.
Yay!
You got us one step closer to securing the domain by gaining leverage on Jude.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I fulfilled my desire and at least took a big step towards an ambition.
Well, that would. Is it the ambition that's written on your sheet?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then yes.
That's a 2-part thing.
If you have spent willpower that you can recover, then do so. You can recover 2 because of ambition and desire. Anyone else?
No.
Black Wolf, if you wouldn't mind, if you're here, I would like the poll put up, please. But that moves us on to experience. So all 5 of my players get a lovely point of experience for showing up today. Grand first episode to the season.
And I am now at 50 total experience.
Ooh.
50 experience total.
Look at you.
Yeah, that's not current. I've spent all but a little bit of that. But
Yeah, but total overall for the Chronicle, that's not
total
bad.
overall, 50.
No, it's not bad. So, we also do things very similarly to the way that Derek does discussions for Detroit and Edmonton, in that we reward our players for experience based on each other's votes for who had the best scene, who moved our plot the furthest, and who had the best or most iconic line out of all of this. But that last point of experience is for all of you to have your say in who should be rewarded for their performance tonight. So, let's discuss who had moved our plot the furthest. Please discuss while I start the poll.
I say
Maria.
Faust.
Oh,
It's a toss-up for me between Faust and Noel. A lot of this is Noel's setup as well, so it's kind of back and forth on that one. So I'd be happy to give it on either case there.
Well, Mr. Stoneford.
I'd like to see what everyone else thinks.
I think I'm the only person left that hasn't moved a vote.
I thought you were
So-
Aussie, not Sweden.
Well, no. No, I just want to see where things lie, because that'll depend on what my response is.
I want to be selfish. Gimme.
I'm a Ventru!
See, that's it. See, that's exactly what I was thinking with what you said, Derek. I'm gonna concede to Faust on this.
To Faust it is, for moving
Yeah.
plot. So who had our
'Cause
best
he-
scene?
Ooh.
Maria's gonna get my vote for that.
Yeah, that was pretty much like all shock factor right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just shock and awe.
But mostly horror.
I
Like, it
didn't.
was
I did.
I definitely got horror. It was like there was terror, but then it immediately went into horror because it's like, oh fuck, we made this. This
Yeah.
is
made
an us
Yeah.
problem.
It's yeah.
It's me realizing that just like how far we pushed Maria and how precisely where she's at in terms of humanity.
She is a monster of your own making.
I love it.
Mhm.
God, you do.
Well, that's a very careful tool.
So that's one vote for Maria having the best scene.
Maria.
That's two.
Maria.
That's three. Overwhelming
I also
majority.
said Maria.
Maria it is. Congratulations. Who had our best
I
line?
do not feel good. That is probably the worst I've ever felt for gaining experience. To be honest.
Oh no.
Oh god. Like, I'll take it, but it's one of those. Ugh.
Ooh.
I'm actually gonna throw Ray's name for best line for Faust going, "How's she doing?" and Ray coming back with, "She's doing."
That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
I'm gonna be selfish like Spectre though, and I'm going to end up here saying specifically the whole chicken lines.
yeah, yep. You're playing. Noel is
I need a
chicken
laugh
puppet.
right now. I need a laugh right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, the riffing there was perfect. To me, it's torn between that, Ray saying he's doing, sorry, she's doing, and Noel at the end there, looking Faust dead in the eyes and being like, "Yeah, this was in my mind the entire time. Knight to F6. Check.
I need you to understand that the action
You're
is
cutting a
just
little bit right now, his specs. You're
Oh,
cutting a
sorry.
little bit.
Every time Noel does something like that, Faust just has like question marks in the air, and he's just doing the white guy blinking emotion.
Yeah, white guy blinking.
Love it. Love to see it. Love to see it.
I-
Any
I-
other
I-
opinions?
I throw my
Chickens.
hat into the ring for that. The discussion with Noel. You screw me or my son over this, it'll be the last thing you ever do.
That was with Faust,
Yeah.
but yes.
Yeah, sorry. My apologies,
Faust.
wrong name.
Which I find a little bit amusing because you're about to do the same thing with
To
Jude's
Jude.
brother.
To Jude.
Yep. We're about to do the same thing to Jude.
I feel like a fucking mob boss right now.
Well, you know, that's why one of the more famous Ventru is Al Capone.
Wow.
I mean,
Kata really
let's be
lost out
honest.
on that one.
Yeah, they did.
Let's be honest. If you're not feeling like a mob boss, you're not doing Ventru right.
A mob boss or
Venture
or
Dad.
the one who stands at the top, or the one who stands at the top, like you
Yeah.
know how Luca feels.
But yeah, I will give it. The banter at the beginning was killing me. It was so hard, y'all.
Yeah, it
I
was.
like,
Yeah,
I gotta give that to Maria.
my vote goes to Maria.
I'm sorry for being a hog on that one, but I
Oh,
got it. That
I
was
love
far
it.
too
I
good.
love it.
It was so
Maria
good.
was feeling good.
Well
It's
justified.
fine.
Well justified.
I
Take a
love
peek
it.
at the poll.
We occasionally need those funny bits in this game because it gets so heavy.
We get heavy.
Yeah.
It gets tragic. It gets horrific, and I didn't even do any of this.
Welcome to Vampire the Masquerade, children, where we go dark.
You need those comedic moments, those moments where the coterie is just ripping on one another.
Oh yeah, I love them. I love them so much.
For a brief moment, I forgot how much of a monster Maria actually is.
Right?
For that brief moment, I forgot, and then all of a sudden that happened. Oh,
Oh,
right,
right.
Humanity 4.
Right.
Yep. But I think that is a what you call it
It's a good first episode of the season.
yeah.
I have to
But
come
I
up
think
with
that
more
is a
content.
majority. I think that's a majority.
Yeah.
fuck.
I have to
Oh,
come up with more
sure.
content now.
Honest to God, are we the iconoclasts otherwise at this point?
We break trends
It's true.
and break people.
People and trends, they don't stand a chance.
We break we break the institution. We break the establishment. We burn down everything you find to be sacred, and we enjoy every last second of it.
Iconoclasts, comfortable in fire.
The
No,
T-pose.
no,
Iconoclasts.
correction. T-posing in fire.
T-posing in fire.
T-posing in fire.
Dominant flame.
Sorry.
You good?
So I'm good.
You know what else was really nice to hear this session? Maria going back to her weird ass sayings.
Oh yeah, her southern
Long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking
spoonerisms.
chairs.
Her spoonerisms.
She hasn't been doing that a lot. It seems like the darker things it got, the less Maria is doing that.
That's part of her humanity. She
It's
was.
flourish. It's flourish
Yeah.
that disappears in lieu of practicality and destruction.
And destruction. Yep.
Wahiro is winning.
Wahiro is winning.
Wahiro is winning.
Unfortunately,
We're gonna make a T-shirt out of that, I'm sure.
Hero is winning.
Put it on a shirt.
Put on a shirt.
If
Put
I
it
would,
on a big mug
no, I'd
for
sooner
me.
put something on an emote first, like Urian's eat.
Yeah,
What
you
is
eat.
yeet?
Yeah, yeet. What is yeet? Or what is IKEA, and how can I use it to gain power?
I really need to make more character emotes for the Chronicle.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was part of the thing that was always endearing about that character, though. Like, there was moments where there's this absolute brilliant mastermind, and it would throw you for a loop the second you realize he's missing a step on something that everybody else takes for granted. Like, what is this IKEA, and how may I use my advantage?
He's very out of touch with the modern world, and it is great.
Just something that I imagine Amber and Velda may have said to Urian is power, flat packed and convenient. you can thank my housemate for that one. He came up with that stroke of genius.
Wonderful,
And
wonderful housemate.
I mentioned Urian's like, I see.
One of those, I wish I knew that one at the moment.
Yeah. It looks like, though, that the audience favorite's going to be a tie.
Why do you do this, audience? You
What?
can't decide. You indecisive fucks. I love you, but you
Oh,
are
Jesus.
indecisive fucks.
Oh wow. Look at
No.
us.
Noel,
Faust and
Faust
Brian.
and Brian.
Huh.
I'm gonna concede to Brian on this.
I am also going to concede to Brian.
Okay, Brian.
Throw the man a bone.
Throw the man a
Among
bone.
other things.
Yeah, no, he had a good scene.
Give him the true Cative experience. We will allow it.
Oh boy.
Such a dick move, but
I'm sorry. I was in another character's headspace like all day or all night last night, and it hasn't completely worn off.
yeah.
That's perfectly fine. And
It makes perfect sense.
soon enough, we will have some reveals for the audience as to what's coming up next down the pipeline, because this is the last season of San Antonio by Night as a Chronicle. We will be moving on to another setting for the next
They're
one.
lying. It's going to be Baron Batista's domain. A whole new coterie strictly for the Nosferatu. We're coming for the entire thing.
I mean, that could be a future game that we do, but that is not going to be the next one coming up. No.
Don't believe his lies.
But we will be doing a different setting next Chronicle. We still have quite a bit more of San Antonio by Night to wrap up, more or less. But in all of that, to say you're gonna want to be here for the next one. So
Yeah.
But since we're done with experienced, is there any expenditures for our lovely coterie?
Good
I'm
question.
banking.
I'm banking,
got
and
a
you know
bank.
what? I'm banking, and you know exactly what for. I will note though that given where I'm at, if I have a good session next session, I'll have it.
Nice. Valid. Cool.
I got a bank.
Also bank.
Okay, so no expenditures for tonight. So, that brings us to the point where we are going to do some shout outs for our lovely, lovely players. Moxie, do you have anything coming up on Gathering of Nerds that you're participating in?
Not that I'm participating in, but we do have a Minecraft stream now happening every Wednesday. I think there's also one happening on Tuesdays too.
Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
Yeah,
I'm
Tuesday.
getting my days mixed up. Don't worry about me. Yeah, we've got Minecraft streams happening. We've got all sorts of streams happening over on Gathering of Nerds, so come join us over there. Yeah, good fun.
All the good fun. Gav, do you have anything coming up on Gathering of Nerds?
You can usually find me on the Wednesday regular multiplayer streams, and I'm hoping to get back into the Gathering Presents eventually. Things have been a bit hectic. You know, that happens. But, of course, so that I don't leave my fans wanting. Hi, I'm Lethality Complex. And, when there is silence in the House of God, you can find me over at the Gathering of Nerds. Because everyone knows that those sorts of greetings are my greeting. I'm going to keep up the bit. It's a good bit.
Lovely, lovely. Spectre, do you have anything coming up down the pipeline?
Not anything specific, Coffee, other than our wonderful group here. But in general, I guess I can make an introduction. Hi, my name is Spectre Deflector. You can find me occasionally on Twitch doing art streams and illustrations. A community of gaming nerds, and along with that, Discord as well.
Yep.
Caffeine ran out.
Yep. Kind of abruptly there.
Anyways. Currently, I don't have commissions open, but we'll be planning on it in the near future. So keep an eye out for when that announcement shows up.
Mm-hmm. Very, very nice. And last but not least, the last streamer that we have on this particular show is the lovely Macabre Derek. What you got coming up?
Well. Right now, I am preparing 7 o'clock Central Standard Time tomorrow on my channel, drawing on the Macabre, where there's a few other side projects that need to be finished. I also end up taking commissions every Tuesday here, Wednesday, and Thursday, again 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, beforehand. And if you'd like to end up getting more Vampire the Masquerade content, join us Sundays at 6:30 Central Standard Time for Edmonton by Night Blood Sands. So every Sunday, we end up having more Vampire to play. And if you're interested in learning the game, in discussing it with other people who are big fans of the game, or maybe you're just trying to end up learning how to do what we do here, do end up joining us for Vampire the Masquerade workshops every Monday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Wonderful, wonderful. Our good friend Mojo doesn't do any of the streaming, but he's a good dude anyway, and we appreciate him so very much. So, in all of that, thank you all so much for joining us for this first episode of Season 3 of San Antonio by Night Aftermath, where there are consequences. Thank you all for joining us. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.